Good morning, students. From June 2020 till the November end, we were discussing about different political, social, and economic changes that have occurred in the world. First, we discussed about the French Revolution. What is French Revolution? Why French Revolution? How it occurred? And its effect in the world. Then we went to Nazism in Germany. From 1789 to 1919 we went. Hitler, his activities, his capturing of power, and the World War. Then we went back in history to the Russian Revolution that occurred in 1970. The background of Russia, the social background of Russia, the political background of Russia, and the Russian Revolution, its effect in Russia, arrival of Joseph Stalin. Those things were discussed. Now this is the question answer of Russian Revolution. Please go through it. Write these questions answers on your classwork notebook. Take them, photos, and send them to my email address. I will check that and give you the feedback on it. So please do it. I am not going to read it because you are able to read it. It is there in the textbook. I am not taking any other questions other than the textbook. So do it. Third question. It's a long question. Pause the video and read it out. Fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, now the students, we are going to start revision. Please ask me your doubts, clarify your doubts through my personal WhatsApp number. You know it. Ask me the question. Any doubt you have, I will answer the questions. That is what is needed. CBSE has reduced the syllabus for 9th class in this academic year. Only first 3 chapters are to be studied. Yearly, only 2 chapters are to be studied among these 3. And there are other units we have to study 2 chapters more. This year CBSE has removed other 2 units and told the first unit all the 3 chapters to be studied. So we have discussed. And in civics, CBSE has removed the fundamental rights. But we must know what are rights, fundamental rights, why it is necessary. So I will take a class on fundamental rights, not for examination, for your knowledge. Why rights are needed, what are rights. So that we will discuss. But time being, we will have some revisions of the chapter. It will be subsequently I will upload to you. So please see them, learn them. I have told you the education or the knowledge that we get is not for examination. It is for our life. So when we come to know that what has happened in the past and what we should do in the future, so that if there is a drawback or mistakes that happened, it will be rectified, and if the good things have happened, it can be modified. Because we are progressing, we are changing new things, anything, the lifestyle, the food style, because we do experiments. That's only. The first human being who started to live in the forest, just plucking the fruits. Then he began to harvest the things that is available around him, and he survived. And he had to fight with the wild animals to survive. Animals were afraid of him, and he was also afraid of animals. So human beings were afraid of animals. Both it is. So from that period we have changed into another. We are important because the nature has brought the sprouted out materials. So the observation mindset that the human beings have helped him to understand that seeds will be sprouted out and again it comes up, we can harvest from it. So he started to put the seed and he began to collect the yield. So putting the seed and collecting the yield, he had to settle down. So he began to settle down. When he began to settle down, he was trying to hide under some caves to protect himself from the cold, rain and hot temperature. Then he began to think, okay, why can't I make a place like here? Because so many caves were not available. Why can't I make it? So he began to make houses, construction houses. Then he constructed houses, harvested the materials. Then he began to look at the sky and trying to find out the calculation of the time, movement of the stars, seasons, Because he wanted to understand the season mainly because he wants to know when he has to do next agriculture process, when the rain will come. So that he has. So from this raining season to next raining season, how many months are there? How many days are there? How many times light will come to the human faces till next raining season? So that calculation has made him to understand the movement of earth. But in the beginning, he might not have thought that the earth is moving, because we don't feel that earth is moving, because we see sun is moving. So he might have thought sun is moving. But later on, the studies, because the people who are called scientists said to be mad people, because they were just walking around looking at others, other things, plants and other things. Others used to call them mad people. And those mad people who observed the things have found out that the earth is not going around the sun. Sorry, sun is not going around the earth. Earth is going around the sun. So they have found out the earth is round in shape. With the human nature, if you look at it, it is flat, but they are able to find it. So like that. That was possible because those people who we said to be mad people had time. And the person who was looking at that around, he should be protected from wild animals. He should be provided with the food. That responsibility was taken up by others. Because he needs food. He is not going for hunting. He is not going for agriculture. So when he is not going for hunting, when he is not going for agriculture, he needs facilities for his survival. So other members of the society who are going for hunting, who are going for harvesting, agreed to give him, because he was giving them information when the rain will come. He was able to look at the sky and say, this is sign rain will come. This is going to happen now. By looking at the nature. So they understood that he can say. So they agreed, okay, you have said for you this. So service charge is provided to him. Then there were frictions in the society. That friction should be solved. So a judge was there to solve the friction. So he heard the cases. After hearing the cases on the spot, he may not be able to give a decision. When he is not able to give a decision, he cannot go for a job. Or he cannot go for hunting. He cannot go for harvesting. He sits there and takes a decision. So in the evening, see, I was sitting for you, I was taking a decision. You please give me my livelihood. Okay. The judges were appointed. So he will be permanent judge. Okay, whatever we bring from the field, a share will be given. So then, how much each person has to give a share? So the government came into existence. A person, a head will be has told, you go for hunting, you go for fishing, you go for agriculture, everything. And so a judge is there, a person who controls the system or who divides the duties are there. So they cannot go for a job. They cannot go for hunting. So they were provided by other members of the society a share of the product that they bring. That is called a tax. That tax, one person collects the tax and he distributes to others. So the head of the person who collects, he cannot alone distribute. So he appoints somebody. He is giving salary or a share to that person who works for him. So the persons who are going out for hunting, For going out for harvesting, they hunt, harvest and cultivate and bring, share the things for every member who has not gone for hunting, who has not gone for harvesting. So when everybody gives a small share, if 100 members are there in a group, 90 members have gone to cultivate, and 90 members, everybody has got 10 kilograms each. If they give 1 kilogram each to the person, he gets a 90. The government, that's called the government. The government gets a 90. All others get only 9 each. So when the government has got a 90, he gives it, he becomes naturally rich. So the money which he has got more than what he requires, he utilizes for others. He tells, okay, I have got this much, I don't want. Okay, next time a dam will be constructed by this. Common implements will be purchased by this. Or I will take care of paying somebody to security reasons that we call armed forces. Thus the society became to be this. That's what the civics we study. How the society. So thus all these details being studied. This is needed for us. So we will further discuss on social and political changes. Okay, thank you very much.